Like I should.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking all about sorority recruitment. I feel like as we're in this time of quarantine, it's a good opportunity to start preparing for the fall, and it might also give you a little something to get your mind off of everything that's going on right now. So I'm going to be answering some really commonly asked questions about recruitment and Greek life in general. So let's just get started. So the first question is, does everyone get a bid? So this is a little bit complicated of a question, but in short, no, not always everyone gets a bid. Basically, the way I would describe it is it's more mutual than people think it is. A lot of times if you don't get a bid, it's because you only see yourself in this one house without really getting to see the similarities between you and this house. And even though you might not be the best fit for this house, you just like eliminate all your other options. And when it comes down to it, this house just isn't the right match for you, so you just don't get a bid at all, if that makes sense. But I wouldn't really worry about that. If you're going into recruitment with an open mind and you're looking for the best fit for you rather than like what name you think is the best or whatever, then you'll most likely get a bid. So the next question is, how can I prepare for recruitment? This one is a little bit complicated because I think there's a fine line between preparing for recruitment and almost like over preparing to where you're not going in very genuinely. I wouldn't have prepared answers at all because it's not an interview, it's a conversation. It's like if you were going to meet up with your old high school friends and you like prepared a speech of what to say of what's been going on in your life, so that way it's like the perfect answer. Like, don't do that. Just make sure it's super genuine and like real. But I would just say you can prepare by getting clothes for it that you feel confident in. That doesn't mean like you have to buy new clothes, but like making sure you have something picked out that makes you feel good about yourself is a good way to prepare. And yeah, just make sure you feel your best, because if you feel your best, you'll do your best, you know? I don't know. Just be your best self. So the next question is, how will I know which house is right for me? This one, I feel like for all the questions, I'm like, this one is a little bit difficult to describe, but like, this one is kind of, I don't know, because it's different for every person, but I feel like the main way you can tell which house is right for you is based off of how the girls interact with each other, which is like really weird to say, and it's kind of hard to see in some houses. But the house that I'm in, I knew it was right for me because I saw how the girls interacted with each other when they weren't talking to a P&M, when they were just like passing by each other to go talk to someone else. Like, they would joke with each other, and I mean, they weren't like being annoying and like loud, but like they would smile at each other. And some houses, they just like didn't even acknowledge each other at all. And so I could tell that it was like a genuine thing happening in my house that I'm in. And that's how I could tell. I could also tell because the conversations were just so much more genuine. I know I'm like saying that word a lot, but at some of the other houses I went to, I just felt like they didn't really care about the answers I was saying. Like, it wasn't a conversation that was like bouncing off of what I would give them. It would be like they were going through a set list of questions to ask me, and I just felt like I didn't get anything out of it. Like, they probably didn't get anything out of it. But in my house, I felt like they didn't go off of this like list of questions. They just were like, how you doing? Like, what's up? And that's how I kind of knew. But it is different for every person, because for me, I was looking for a house that was like chill and could like joke around and like, you know, we're super genuine and fun girls. But for some people, like their main thing that they're looking for is like a group of girls that is very like serious and sincere, and like maybe those are top qualities they're looking for. And so maybe they look for girls that are like super serious and like caring when they talk to them during recruitment, instead of like just relax. So it's different for every person, but just look for like the little qualities in the conversation rather than just like trying to make the conversation perfect and like not mess up what you say or something. Okay, so the next question kind of goes about like when you should or like if you should join a sorority. So it asks, you know, if I'm in like a sports team, should I join one? If I'm on like the band or on the band, if I'm in the band or like something like that. So to all those, you definitely can. I mean, at least at Mizzou, there's like nothing stopping from you. The only thing I will say is if you're on a sports team that requires a lot of time, it can be hard to get any benefit out of your sorority, because a lot of times any sort of benefit you get out of your sorority is just based off of the time commitment you put into it. And so if you're in a sport and it requires all of your time, I think you could find it hard to get things out of it, and it might just feel like money wasted at that point. But it's different for every person. I know lots of people that are on sports team or in the band and they're in my sorority house and they are doing just fine, and like they are getting lots out of it and they're on exec, like they're living their best life. And there are also girls that are on like the dance team or different sports or are just like super involved in their major, and so they take less time out of Greek life and they just don't really get anything out of it. So that's what I would say to that, is if you are on a sports team for college, maybe just weigh your time commitment and see if you would be willing to put time into a sorority after going to practice for like 6 hours a day. So the next question is a question I feel like literally everyone asks, but we don't talk about in recruitment until one of the last days, and that's how much does it cost me in a sorority? I feel like the reason no one really talks about this is because it's different for every single house at every single school. I will say this, I don't want to like say exact numbers because like I said, it's different, and so this could not pertain to anyone. I will say it's in the thousands, obviously, like people know that, but that's like to live in, I feel like it is worth the cost. Like it's pretty much the same as an apartment when it comes down to like rent, utilities, like Wi-Fi, food, and also like on top of it you get like social activities, and it pays for just so much stuff. Like it's crazy. And I feel like I don't want to say this and then it like people get mad about it, but if you want to join a sorority and like your intentions of joining a sorority are good, the finances don't seem like that much because you get so much out of it. And obviously there's like that whole stigma around how we just like pay for our friends. That could be said about anything. Like if you join a club, you have to pay dues. And if you get friends out of that club, like, aren't you just paying for your friends? So it's like, we're in an organization and we pay dues to the organization. We don't pay dues to make friends, but you just happen to get like lifelong friends out of it. So I don't know. I feel like that was very vague, but finances obviously are important, but I think that the benefits outweigh the costs in this case. So that brings us to the final question, which is I joined a sorority and I don't like it. What do I do? So let me just say that this is literally everyone. Probably like 99% of people join their house and don't like it at first. I question whether or not I made the right decision as far as like picking my house for months. Some people still question it in its sophomore year. It's completely normal, and like you're gonna question it because in movies and TV shows, like you join a house and you automatically have all your friends and like you're just living your best life. But it takes so much time to find your friends. I didn't find like a group, like a solid group of girls in my house that I like genuinely just wanted to like spend the rest of my life with until living in house sophomore year. Freshman year, I was like, I had 1 or 2 friends in the house. They're amazing girls. Like, I'm still really close with them, but like, I just felt like some girls already had like their whole friend groups and like, I just didn't. And so I was questioning it and other people were talking about how they were questioning it. One thing that I will say is don't drop at least until sophomore year, which is a big request because you have to, 9 times out of 10, like you're required to live in-house sophomore year. But that's how I made all my friends. And I feel like if after sophomore year you just, it's not for you, then like cool, drop. But this is kind of a complicated question. I feel like the only reason you should drop the first few weeks of being in your house is if it's like a very solid, like not okay thing happened. Like one of the girls or a group of girls is like explicitly like very rude to you, or like, you know, something like that where it's like a reason to drop. I feel like if you're dropping the first few weeks because it's like, oh, I don't really like it, like it's a little different than what I thought, and you want to drop, like I would say stay and wait it out. But sometimes girls do drop the first few weeks because they want to go through recruitment again and find a different house, but which it sometimes works out great if you do that and you find a different house and like that house is completely for you. But a lot of times if you do go through recruitment again after dropping a house, like you're gonna have the same experience the first few weeks of your different house, and then you end up just like waiting it out and loving it in that one, if that makes sense. So I would just say wait it out, you know, chill and just see what happens is my advice. So okay guys, so that brings us to the end of the video. I hope these answer some of your guys' questions. If you have more questions, definitely leave them in the comments below and I will either respond to them or I can make another video about answering your guys' questions. I'm gonna start a recruitment series. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna start it, but leave some video ideas down below and I will do them because quarantine just gives us so much time. So yeah, that brings us to the end. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.